Hi everyone, I'm Jo Fry and this is my channel Jojo Fry Rocks, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the difficulties and problems that I've been having with changing the strings and setting up the Floyd Rose on my 1989 Ibanez RG550. This kind of goes back a couple of months when I was having a conversation with my friend Andy from Guitar Stuff Studio about string gauges, and he's got quite a few guitars that have a Floyd Rose. He's got an Ibanez Gem, a Steve Vai signature model. It's really nice, and a couple of Charvel Jacksons, I think, which tend to have Floyd Roses, and he uses 8s. A very light string gauge, and one of the reasons I think I've been having problems with playing this guitar and the kind of fret buzz and stuff that I've been getting is because, or I thought that it might be because I had kind of far too heavy bass strings in particular on this guitar. And I went in to see my friends in Life Guitars in Exeter, and we had a bit of a chat about string gauges. I made a video about it and I decided to go for it. So I decided to change my strings, take off the hybrid top light bottom heavy strings that I had on here and put on a set of Ernie Ball 8s. So I attempted to do that, and I quickly ran into problems. I got the strings on, and the Floyd Rose was kind of sitting up quite far. So I then tried to adjust, I decided to adjust the springs to kind of pull the Floyd Rose back so that it would sit back down again. Actually noticed that one of the springs had kind of rusted as well, so I've had to replace that. And I had quite a lot of difficulty actually adjusting it with these screws, because you probably won't be able to see, but they're almost completely cammed out. So it's very hard to adjust them now. Anyway, as I was doing that, the top E string snapped. So I'd obviously gone too quickly, or I just kind of not loosened it off enough or something. But anyway, I kind of lost confidence then in the 8s. I don't want to keep buying sets of strings to have them snap just, as I'm putting them on. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go for 9s. So where I've got to with this so far is that I've got the 9s on, so I've managed to get them on, and I've kind of, well, it's not anywhere near in tune, but they're almost recognisable by the tuner. So I still need to kind of get them up to pitch, but even that has taken me, well, quite a long time to kind of get the strings to that point and to get the Floyd Rose. It's now kind of flush with the body. It's not quite sitting right. It's not exactly where it should be. So there's probably going to be a bit more messing around with it and kind of adjusting the springs. So what I'm going to try and do is tune it up roughly, and then I'll put the locking nut pieces back on because they're off at the moment. However, that's not the end of the story, of course. So I've still got to then kind of look at the action. So once we're at that point, I'll then kind of look at where the action's sitting and see if I need to adjust that, which is done kind of by adjusting these pole pieces here. I then need to, see whether or not there's still a fret buzz. I don't think that it will need a truss rod adjustment, and if it does, I'm not going to do that myself. But anyway, let's kind of get to that point, adjust the action, make sure the Floyd Rose is sitting where it should be, and sort of get it vaguely in tune enough to put the locking nut pieces back on, and then we just use the fine tuners at the end to actually get it properly in tune. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I haven't really done this before because whenever I've had the strings changed, I've taken it into a guitar shop precisely because of how much time it takes, and the fact that I don't really know what I'm doing. And on a guitar like this, there is a real chance that if you do something really wrong, you could actually damage it. And I haven't really been willing to risk that. So but I should learn, Andy says I need to learn how to do it myself. And I have a very good friend who is a guitar tech, and he's been advising me as well. And it is good to learn how to do these things for yourself. So I'm going to take it very slowly and very carefully and hope that I don't screw it up. But I just wanted to, I guess, kind of demonstrate that, not everyone finds these things particularly easy. I'm really struggling with it, if I'm honest. I did a string change on my thin line telly, including the intonation, kind of adjusting the intonation. It took me less than 10 minutes. It was very, very straightforward. I changed the strings on my acoustic guitar, probably 5 minutes tops. But this is a law unto itself. And even my friend, who's a professional guitar tech, hates what he calls these wretched things. So I just thought, let's have a look, see if I can do it. And, will I be able to kind of maintain this guitar myself in the future? And, can I get it into a playable state? It's a bit of a challenge. So the first thing I'm going to do now is see if I can kind of get it up to tune, up to pitch, and then see where the Floyd Rose is sitting, and if I need to do any adjustment to that. One tip about tuning, you should always tune up. So if for whatever reason your strings are sharp, kind of go all the way down, like slacken them off, and then tune up to pitch. Okay, so because I've adjusted the springs on the back, the Floyd Rose will have increased the tension on the strings since I tuned them, so they are probably sharp. So I will need to kind of slacken off and then tune up again for most of them, I think. so that's sharp. Okay, we are sort of in tune. However, there's significant buzzing, rattling against the frets on most of the strings. I can hear it on that one. So we're going to need to check the action. So according to my string action gauge ruler there, not sure whether you'll be able to read that. So according to this, the action at the 12th fret should be 1.98 millimeters on the low E and 1.6 millimeters on the high E. That sounds about right. Like, that sounds kind of fair. So let's have a look. Above 2 millimeters there. And we only want to be 1.6. The low E, where are we at on the low E there? So the low E at the 12th fret. Well, that's more like just over 2. So that's got to come down. So yeah, we're going to have to lower these pole pieces. So I can't remember which way lowering it is. Is it this way? Yeah, okay. level, not quite, not really. Another turn. Okay, let's see, where are we at now? Yeah, that's still too high. To be fair, this still does look too high. Yeah, that's about right, the toppy. But the lowy still needs to be down a bit more to kind of get it closer to that kind of 1.6 that we're looking for. Right, well that looks a lot better in terms of the action. However, I feel like this is just going to buzz like hell. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Wow. That D is right against the frets there. Okay, let's keep going. having the action this low is just making the strings buzz and rattle against the frets, and it's not going to play at all. Okay, I'm going to try putting the action back up again. See if we can get to a point where the strings don't buzz and rattle against the frets. No, it's the other way, isn't it? Okay, so that's not terrible. That's like 2 mm. And on this top E, it's more like, oops. Yeah, it's kind of more like 2 mm. And we do want that slightly lower. So maybe we could go back a little bit. Just wondering now why it's the D string in particular and kind of the G that are buzzing or seem to be kind of not clearing the frets. See, lowering that pole piece has now made the A string buzz. So I think that's got to go back up again. Nope, that's the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to put the locking nut pieces back in, and I'm going to probably put the back plate back on, and see if I can sort of get the strings correctly tuned and get this into a kind of playable state, and then check the intonation. As you can see, I've now put the locking nut pieces back on. I've fine-tuned with the fine-tuners. So we have and just checking the intonation, ignoring the fret buzz still for a minute. It's good. All good. Because I really wasn't looking forward to having to sort out the intonation, which kind of involves moving these guys around, kind of these sort of move backwards and forwards, and yeah, if you do need to adjust the intonation, I do have the kind of very, very, very tiny screwdriver that you need to adjust these guys. But I really wasn't looking forward to having to do that. But by the looks of things, intonation is fine, which kind of says to me that the truss rod is okay. So, where have I got to? I think I've managed to get my guitar into a playable state. It's just about in tune. I've checked the intonation. It's fine. The Floyd Rose is kind of sitting in an okay position, I think. It's really difficult to show you. But yeah, if you kind of look at it from that angle, I think that's about as good as I'm actually going to be able to get it by myself anyway. The action isn't too bad. It's probably a bit higher than you would really want on this type of guitar, but it's not unplayable. I can't get it any lower because the string buzzing is just insane. So yeah, I still have the exact same issue that I had before I changed the strings. So what we've learnt is that changing the string gauge didn't solve the problem. Actually, I still have the exact same problem that I had before. Yeah, it's a little bit higher than I'd want it to be ideally. but it's not unplayable. So it's basically there. It's kind of playable. I've changed the strings. I've set it up myself. And you know what? I'm going to call that a win for now, I think. And if the fret buzz on the first string, you know, is something that I can't live with, then I'm going to have to end up taking it in. But for now, anyway, I'm just going to put the back plate back on and play my guitar and yeah, try to live with it and, you know, see how we go. But anyway, in terms of stuff that I've learned, yeah, actually quite a lot in trying to do this myself. So I do think it's been a valuable exercise. But another thing I've learned is that I will never have another guitar with one of these infernal contraptions on it. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you have guitars with these things? Am I doing everything completely wrong? Can you give me any advice or tips about what I should be doing? How I could have done any of this better and how I could do it better going forward. Any and all advice would be warmly welcomed. Okay, thanks everyone.